Creatures of the night, let's talk about Dynamite. It's Wednesday, and we're starting the show off with Tony Schiavone, who is introducing the men's Owen Hart Cup tournament winner, Hangman Adam Page. Hangman comes out there, everybody and their mama are happy. He has a title on, unfortunately with a shirt and a jacket on. Comes out into the ring, and people are really excited. Hangman gives us a speech about how it took so long for him to get to this point. He's not going to let anyone down. He's going to end up winning the AEW Championship at All In. Now, while he's doing all that, he ends up taking off the Owen title and basically saying, hey, look, I'm not going to be defending this or anything. The only thing I'm going to be focusing on is getting my hands on the actual title, which is the AEW World title. However, can't be a celebration without someone to interrupt. Swerve Strickland comes out there, and he does not look happy. And I'm just like, okay, you can't be happy for a Hangman having this opportunity. He comes on in there, and he says, I'm not happy. Why should I take that title off of you? And he goes on to show him a video evidence of like right after Dynasty after the Young Bucks had cost Swerve the opportunity of winning the world title, and basically they said for everybody that they did it for their best bud Hangman. Now, Hangman was just like, look, if I wanted you to lose the championship, an opportunity to get a championship, like I would have literally gone out there and make sure you wouldn't have won it by damn self without having to have the Young Bucks come on out there. Now they're getting into each other's face, and here comes what I thought was going to be the use of security guards, keep them away from each other. It's William Ospreay that comes on out there. Will Ospreay comes on out there pretty much being like a freaking pastor and preaching to these two guys, basically telling Swerve that, hey, Swerve, it wasn't meant for it to be me. It wasn't meant for it to be you. It was meant for it to be Hangman to be the one to dethrone Moxley and get the title away from them, and we can restore things back within AEW. Now look, Swerve don't care about any of that. Hangman had even made a promise saying that he will never let Swerve get an opportunity to have the championship. Now look, I'm going to say this. I'm not going to say it felt forced, but it felt too convenient that Swerve let the whole Owen happen after supposedly Hangman sent the Young Bucks to have cost him an opportunity to win the world title. So you waited for all this to happen and for him to win the Owen, for you to come out here and just be petty about the whole situation. Like, why didn't you cost him the opportunity to win the Owen for him to not have an opportunity to go for the world title? It just felt a little too convenient to bring up at this point. And with all that preaching from Will Ospreay, that does not help Swerve. He's just like, look, you and I should be teaming up with Hangman so we can dethrone the Death Riders together. And Swerve's like, I ain't teaming up with none of y'all. Like, I will never team up with Hangman after the things that we've gone through. And he ends up walking away. I totally understand what he meant when he said that, but something about this kind of just felt like, oh, so we're just bringing this up after everything that already happened. Feels a little too convenient for a storyline, but I think we're going to the point where, you know, Swerve and Hangman might bury the hatchet just so we can dethrone the entire Death Riders. After a recap of Anarchy in the Arena, which was actually not bad of a match, we have Gabe Kidd, Jon Moxley, and Marina Shafir going against Mark Briscoe, Speedball Mike Bailey, I don't know what that's about, and Willow Nightingale in a mixed tag match, which I'm actually surprised that they even did. I'm not even gonna lie, like after everything that happened in Anarchy in the Arena, I'm surprised to see any of these people that are showing up on Wednesday doing anything. I thought this was really great. Marina and Willow Nightingale, I'm happy that they're still doing something, but like I don't know if they're going to end up bringing another girl into the group, because during the match we're seeing Statlander, who's backstage watching this match, which is interesting because obviously she got her thing with Willow right now, with them not really being friends, and she doesn't really have any alliance to the Death Riders, but you can't help but to think, like, what if she were to join them, which I would totally be cool with, by the way. for a good amount of this match, we do have Gabe Kidd and Mark Briscoe going at it. And what I think is interesting here is that, like, the last time we seen Gabe Kidd, like a couple of months ago, he got into a fight with Mark Briscoe after one of the shows. This is something that they aired online and whatnot. They got into it after one show, and I thought they was going to end up having a match from it. But here we are, with they're doing a little something in a mixed tag match. Mark Briscoe ends up getting the L for the team when John Moxley ends up putting him, after a devastating paradigm shift, puts him in a bulldog choke. Everyone else from his team is trying to get in there. Marina snatches up Willow and locks her ass up. And then we have Gabe, who snatches up Speedball as well into some type of clutch. And they end up taking the win. I am cool with this. Obviously, we had Claudio and Wheeler Yuta out there getting involved and whatnot, which honestly, this is typical Death Riders. As much as I love this group, sometimes I wish they would stay away from doing the same thing every night. But hey, Death Riders, they should take the win since they took the L at Anarchy in the Arena. Now, after this, we get a really surprising promo from Ricochet, who is saying how Don Callis family, they have a great group. Death Riders, they're a great group, and the Ops and the Hurt Syndicate. And he says he needs a crew as well. And I can't even believe this happened, because like I was saying the other day, like Ricochet has done so well for himself that he does not need not a manager or to be teamed up with anybody. And here they are doing exactly what I said not to do. And we don't know who it is. A lot of people are speculating, because he said the word crew, that is going to actually be crew, which is Action Andretti and Lio Rush. I don't know how well they would fit with him. I'm not sure. This is giving like the light-skinned version of Hurt Syndicate. I don't know. Don't know if that would work out. And if it's not crew, who else could it be that could team up with him in some type of faction? Because he is definitely speaking to or more people. And if this is something to help grow the trios division, I'm okay with it. But the two people that's joining him has to absolutely work with Ricochet. Now, after this, we have Anna Jay teaming up with Harley Cameron to go against Megan Bayne and Penelope Ford. Yes, we did this on Sunday. However, this time it's a no DQ match. So we got tables, we got garbage cans, chairs, even a golden chair and all that. The girls, the presentation of them coming out to the ring was amazing. In my opinion, after watching the match, I was just like, okay, maybe we didn't need to do the no DQ thing. Harley and Anna Jay visibly are fucking hurt after this. I'm not saying they're going to be off the shelf. Harley Cameron, I don't know if her nose is broken, but when I say she was leaking out of her nose, like it was leaking real bad. Kind of like what we saw with Action Andretti on Sunday at the pre-show as well. So hopefully she's okay. Anna Jay ends up hitting her head real hard after I believe Megan hits her with a face descent onto a chair, and her head, you could just see it hit the chair real hard. We had table spots, and I thought that they did well in terms of the match, but I was just like, I don't know if overall this was something that was needed in terms of the no DQ thing. I get it. They wanted it to be different from what they did on Sunday. Even when Harley busted her nose like that, she was being checked by the doctor, and she like pushed the doctor aside. She's like, nope, I'm getting back in there. And I like that. She has a lot of heart. However, but Megan and Penelope, they are a force within AEW, and I am happy with them taking the win. And to be honest with you, by the time they won, I think a lot of people was already feeling uncomfortable with how hurt and that Harley and Anna Jay looked. So at that point, people wanted it to be over, but still overall, really great effort by all these girls. Now after this, we do have Mercedes Moné pulling up to the arena in a lowrider. She looks great when she comes out of the car. She's definitely giving, she's wearing all silver, kind of like what you would see all them girls going to the Beyonce concert wearing the cowboy hat, the boots, and all that stuff. She looked like $1,000,000. We're going to see her later on having a meet and greet with Tony Storm. I don't know, whatever they called it. Now, after this, the Ops are putting the trio titles on the line, and I didn't even know this, but they went against The Frat House. If you're watching Ring of Honor, you know the Frat House. It's Cole Carter, Griff Garrison, Preston Vance, and Jack Jameson. And then they have these guys that usually come out with them who are trying to be recruited into the group, so they do their stupid things so they can get into the actual fraternity or whatever. It actually, I know it probably doesn't sound that great, but it looks great. The presentation of the Frat House, I think, is great. They come on out, they have a little TV time on a Wednesday night before they got their ass whooped, and that's exactly what ends up happening. They get their ass whooped. Powerhouse House and taking the win for a team. It wasn't exactly a squat. Well, you know what? It was a squash, but a little longer than what you expected. But I think it was still a good opportunity for the team to be able to have this TV time. Even with them having their usual members and even those random guys who were in the group trying to join the Frat House, those guys also got their ass whooped too. And the referee was just like, fuck it. Let everybody get their ass whooped and I'll wait until a legal guy get in the ring and then I will pin. So Hobbs takes the win for the team, pinning Cole Carter. I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing. Whatever. It's, you know, the Ops are doing something with the trios titles. Great. And it's brought me back to the whole Ricochet thing. If he's looking to have somewhat of a trio, then maybe we'll take Ricochet looking for whoever it is to join his little crew. Because honestly, we need a hell of a lot more trios for this division. Now, Renee Paquette is in the ring, going to interview our girl, Jamie Hayter. Jamie Hayter was wearing that outfit. I don't care what anybody say. Y'all say whatever you want about the Scooby-Doo look, the 70s look or whatever. Personally, it's not my thing for me to dress like that. But she has been killing it with the fashion. She comes on out there. She looks amazing. Brought me back to when she lost on Sunday. Oh, my God. I'm still not over it. Still not over it. But anyway. You know, Jamie Hayter's in the ring, and the typical question from Renee, what's next since you lost? And all of a sudden the lights go out, and I'm just like, all right, well, here comes Sky Blue and Julia Hart. But no, it is Tekla. Tekla finally comes to AEW. We've been getting those spiders on the screen, the toxic spider on the screen for maybe a month or so, and she's finally here, and she takes out Jamie Hayter. I was like, Jamie, we can't even afford this after Jamie losing on Sunday. Now look, maybe I'm being a little biased because I love Jamie, and then after her losing or whatever on Sunday, but I do feel like someone else could have been a sacrifice for Tekla. I don't know where this is going, but I'm just like, what's going to happen for Jamie now? Like, she's going to get a match with Tekla and lose? I don't want to see Jamie Hayter losing something else. But Tekla, congratulations, girl. We love to see it. We love to see it. Now, after this, we get a hype video for Mystico. Mystico is pretty much God in Mexico. Everybody loves him, so we will be seeing him within AEW. And this is another thing for them to pretty much prepare people for Grand Slam Mexico, which is going to be in a few weeks. Don't ask me exactly what date, because I honestly cannot remember right now. However, we do have Adam Cole, baby, going against Kai Fletcher for the TNT Championship. And I'm just like, look, I don't care what happened here. Please, Fletcher, just take the damn title off of Adam, because we are bored. Uncle Don is here on commentary, thank goodness. And another thing, too, Ian Riccaboni was on commentary, meaning that we didn't have to listen to the dreadful Tony Schiavone. So, Tony Khan, thank you. We do appreciate that. This was a great match. There was a spot where, oh my God, Kyle Fletcher gives Cole like a power bomb onto the apron, and he hits directly the back of his head. Oh my God, this is the nastiest thing I've seen in a while. He could have literally, I won't say kill him, but, you know, Adam Cole has a history of concussion. So, like, I know everybody was just watching that like, holy shit, I hope he's okay. He was able to continue the match and continues. Roppongi Vice gets involved, and then here comes fucking Paragon that comes out to take care of them. So they're leaving, and then the match continues. Kyle Fletcher did look like he was losing, but then Josh Alexander comes out of the blue and gets involved, and then the match ends via disqualification. And then instead of Kyle Fletcher being upset about it, he decides to just join on the beatdown on Cole. And I was just like, wait a minute. To be honest with you, I get it. Yeah, he was losing, but there's a possibility that he could have ended up winning, and like you just gonna come and just get in between my time to get a title. I personally wouldn't like it. But then he ends up helping Josh beat up Adam Cole, and here comes Brody King, who comes out to help Adam Cole getting his ass whooped, because actually we do have Brody King going against Josh Alexander for the AEW International Championship qualifying match. Now, with this match being next, Uncle Don don't even need to get away from commentary, because we do have Josh representing the family. For me, I was just like Brody King for sure for the win. Like Josh, I like Josh. I know he hasn't been around long enough to just be winning every week, but I just felt like, okay, like last time they did get into the ring with each other, and shit went left between them. So this is a rematch for them. And I was like, Brody, he needs it. Like, he really got nothing going on. So why not him taking the win? I thought they had a pretty decent match. And I'm just thinking, all right, Lance Archer and them out there, then they probably get involved. The referee's not looking and causing Brody the match. But somehow, some way, Brody ends up taking the win, and I was just like, yes, this is exactly what we motherfucking needed. Now, Josh Alexander, I don't know what happened, but like right above his eyebrow, he got like a really nasty gash, and he's bleeding all over the place. So the mat was just covered in blood, and then we still have CEO and Tony Storm to come out in that ring, just pretty much cutting the promo all up on Josh's blood. Very interesting. Now, before we get into the promo with Timeless Tony Storm and our CEO, we do have Kyle Fletcher, who's back there doing a promo, and before he can really get a couple of words in, here comes Adam Cole going to fight with Fletcher backstage. Now, the use of security guards are actually being useful in keeping these guys away from each other, and Adam Cole said, I had you beat, like I was going to beat you. And I was like, so why are you attacking Fletcher about Josh Alexander, who took it upon himself to go out there and get involved in a match just when you thought you was going to beat Kyle Fletcher? Like, why are we going after him instead of Josh Alexander? Honestly, I don't know. Now, after that, CEO comes out there just looking so scrumptious. Oh my God. Like, the makeup, the outfit, everything was just freaking right. She comes on out there, and well, can't say everybody's happy to see her, but obviously she is the winner of the Women's Owen Hart Cup tournament, and she gets a little bit of a cheap pop here by them being in El Paso and bringing up Eddie Guerrero, who's also was from there as well, talking about how she compares herself to Eddie and Owen, some of the greats in professional wrestling, but they were not better than her. Now, just when everybody was booing her, Tony Storm come on out there and shut that whole thing down. Tony Storm looking great. She told Luther, keep your ass in the back. I don't need your help. She gets into the ring, and she lays the women's title down on the mat. One of my favorite parts of the promo was Mercedes saying that she is not a boss, she is a CEO. And I like that she said this, because this is her leaving the boss, Sasha Banks, somewhere else, and basically letting everyone know that I am Mercedes Moné, the CEO. And I like that. And even Tony Storm goes on to say that she and Mercedes, they both were obviously somewhere big at one point, and they left betting on themselves, and look at what they've become since they left. And I love that they mentioned this, because this is really important for anyone, especially people in WWE, people in other promotion, anyone who wants to become a professional wrestler, to not just look at a WWE as the end all be all. Like, you can literally just bet on yourself and be able to be successful no matter where you go, no matter where you are. All you gotta do is just believe in yourself, even when it seems like the company doesn't. And look at what Tony Storm and Mercedes have become being just here in AEW. They have done phenomenal. However, Tony Storm goes on to say, look, you are looking to have another title. Like, you're looking to do this whole belt collector thing. And all I need is just this one, the AEW Women's Championship. And I love that, because there's a huge difference between one person who's just wanting to have this one title that means the world. She said, I've lived for this, I've bled for this, I've cried for this, I even died for this damn title. And I dare you to come get this from me. She said something about, that if she wants to ride the Monday train to her Tony tunnel, then I hope you can get deep enough. And then Monet says, well, your hips ain't wide enough for the money train. I'm like, girl, I love when they do shit like that. Like, that's so my humor. Now look, they do get into each other's faces, and you know, they are probably wanting to get physical with each other. Now Tony Storm, she's sniffing her face, and then she takes her hand, she kisses her hand, and just when things can get physical between the two of them, obviously Mercedes end up rolling up out the ring. She leaves all the other titles but the TBS title, and then Tony Storm is doing her awkward dance in the ring, and then Mercedes is like, CEO, CEO. Like, it didn't even go with the timeless Tony Storm theme music, whatever. This was a huge thing for them to end with the women's you know, title as the last thing you see on Dynamite. And the reason why I think that's so important is that, you know, they start off with the winner of the men's Owen, who's going for the world title. And obviously that's supposed to be the biggest prize within the AEW. But we do also have the women's title, which is the biggest prize amongst the women. However, this is a big deal for any of the women to be going for this. And for them to end the show off with the ladies was really promising to me, and I love that they did that. Overall, this was a pretty good show. Not bad. There's a couple of things that we could have done without, but overall, I'm looking to see what the road of All In is looking like. Swerve Strickland, you really don't need to join Hangman, but maybe you could just do it just for the pay-per-view. I know people are tired of the Death Riders. Not me, Moxley, not me. We'll see what we can do on that. You guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I will be back tomorrow with Ring of Honor. See you guys then. Bye.